So, what's going on with Terra? Well, it's July 13th. And here's a digest of what's been going on with the Terra Luna ecosystem. First of all, people are getting excited about the price. If you've been tracking what's going on with Luna, when Bitcoin crashed, Luna probably crashed the hardest, the fastest, the strongest. But compared to that low, a lot of other altcoins, when Bitcoin crashed, altcoins crashed, and then everything went up a little bit, and then most altcoins crashed further down, making newer lows. But Luna, since it crashed so hard, so quickly, it ended up making a higher low. And since then, since around that high $4 mark, it's seen some really good price movement all the way up to almost $9. And you could, I like to just plot a bunch of lines and see what's going on. I'm not a TA guy, but I do like to see long-term trends. And my whole plan, when I got into Luna, I first got into it in December. So I got in around here, like 60 cents-ish. And I didn't even know what Luna was, honestly. I was just buying 50 different tokens. Luna just happened to be one of them. And then it went straight up moon mode. And then it peaked up here, and then I saw it go down here, and then I bought it again around 17 because I thought, if the bull market was going to continue, this was a good buy zone. But obviously we had our major pullback, and I was buying a little bit, at 12, at 10. I was just trying to scalp a few coins here on the way down. And then when this bottomed and we saw a little bit of a rebound a huge rebound from $4 to $8, I came up with a plan to dollar cost average all throughout this time range on a daily basis using 100% free token rewards. This is what forced me to kind of learn the Terra ecosystem. So I'll show you, a few things, and then I'll go over this Finn's kind of weekly update. He does these. It's very cool. But let's look at Anchor. So Anchor is a protocol that's built on the Terra ecosystem, and this is their savings account. So Anchor's price has been brutal. It crashed really hard. So it was around $6 before Bitcoin's crash. And then it went all the way down to $2.50. And unlike Luna, which, it rebounded from there, Anchor's done the opposite. It's bled even further. So right now it's bled all the way down to about $2. It's in new territory, really, according to this chart. It's got a pattern here of probably it needs to break out a little bit here. Otherwise, this charts just don't look like this. They don't bleed this much. So it wouldn't be the worst thing if it popped up a little bit. But it may not be at the bottom, or maybe it is. I don't know. But the Telegram chat for Anchor and for Lunar, we're getting a lot of futsters who are complaining about the Anchor tokenomics, complaining that the Anchor, the tokens are just don't have much value. So when people receive them as rewards, they're kind of dumping them for UST or for Luna. I do borrow on Anchor. So I'm borrowing with Anchor. I have my B Luna and I deposit it in Anchor, and I do a loan to value, a loan to value ratio of 39% during the day, and I change it to 25% when I sleep, and I use Anchor Repay Bot in order to do this. And this strategy gets me about $55 per day in Anchor rewards. And what I do every morning around 7 a.m. is I convert that from Anchor to Luna, because that's one of the main ways I've been accumulating here. I borrow, I farm Anchor tokens, I dump them for Luna, And I think a lot of people are doing that. That's one of the ways that, Anchor is dumping so hard, is because people are they're farming Anchor rewards. They're dumping them for Luna tokens. And I think that's going to stop when Luna's price goes up a little bit more. I think when Luna gets back above double digits, I think we're going to see people start switching to accumulate Mirror or Anchor, and maybe even Mirror. So Mirror, I've also been farming in Mirror. This is the other way I earn rewards. Here, I think I earn about $15 per day in Mirror rewards. This is what I have inside of Mirror. I'm farming $12,000. I'm borrowing $5,000. I've got a little bit staked in governance, but I'm mostly providing LP. And there's a lot of cool videos on YouTube that teach you how to do delta neutral yield farming on Mirror. That's what I've been doing. So I borrowed Google, and then using that borrowed Google, I went long. So by doing that, I'm getting a 34% APY on this 7,900 position. And then I'm also shorting Google and doing a farm on there. Right now, this APY is only 3%. This thing fluctuates like crazy. Like 2 days ago, it was at 90% APY. Today, like this morning, it was at 1%. Now it's at 3%. So sometimes these rewards are nothing, and sometimes they're like even better than these. It makes more sense to just think about it like an average. And over time, I think it's like 50% a week. And then I've also been doing some governance voting, and this gets you rewards as well. So that's what I do with Mirror. And Mirror right now, the price for Mirror is also not looking too great. If we look at the chart, we see it, I think it like opened up around 5. It's not showing here, but it's been stuck below this trend line for sure. It looks like maybe it wants to start basing here. If it does have a little double bottom here, that could be interesting. It starts going up. It could just as easily keep going down. I think a lot of people are also dumping their Mirror for Luna. On the tokenomics here with the printing of the Anchor tokens for the yield farming, that's not great. Like none of that stuff happens in Luna. That's why Luna is the #1 pristine asset. And Mirror and Anchor are like just kind of like tokens, but they're not like long-term going to die out. They're going to stay around. It's just for now, the tokenomics are not the most attractive. And then we have, Big Daddy Bitcoin, and Luna's been able to rebound and go up a little bit because Bitcoin's been range bound. So I think, this is not financial advice, but if Bitcoin breaks to the upside here, Luna's going to be one of the most strongly performing assets for sure. And we'll get into some of that news segment after a while, but here's a Pylon update. So Pylon, I bought the Wave 1 in the Pylon gateway. I put in a pretty big position here. So I'm waiting for the unlock to happen, which is going to be on the 26th. But you can see the people who invested in Wave 2, I haven't done that, but there's 3 pools. And the 18-month pool now has an APR of 224%. Which some people were complaining about it because it was 300% last week. But this number is going to fluctuate as the price fluctuates and as more people invest. And then the 6-month pool is still around 100%, which is really good. You can start claiming the rewards at 3 months, and you get your full money back after 6 months. Like that's not bad. I think in a bear market, that's going to be an amazing way to use Pylon. And it's really cool in the bull market too, because if you have some stables and you just want to keep them stable, this is a nice way to diversify a little bit and still get these Nintendo kind of APRs. I got my airdrop, my first airdrop, like first weekly airdrop, and I put it right into the liquidity pool. It was expensive, so I think I got like $13 worth of mine tokens. and it cost me 50 cents to claim it, and then it cost me 50 cents to provide it into an LP, and then it cost me 50 cents to stake it to earn rewards. So that was $1.50 from $13, but you can see the return 200% is not bad. So I'm going to keep doing that for mine. I don't plan on dumping these weekly airdrops like I do for Anchor and MIR right now. I think I'm going to stop dumping the airdrops completely once Luna gets above $10. That's like a happy zone for me. And then I can start investing in these like Luna altcoins. So let's get into Finn's weekly report. If anything looks interesting to me, I'll just go ahead and mention it. I did enjoy Do Kwon's video on Staking Mondays. He's been getting out into the press a lot lately, and I think he's one of the best founders. So every time he has an interview, I'm completely locked in. Loop Finance, this is like an automated market maker, I believe. And they announced a token sale on Pylon at the end of July. That's coming up close. I mean, it's July 13th, so let's see if they can reach that. This is their tokenomics. They're putting 5% to the airdrop. I'm not sure which one of these counts for the Pylon thing, so we'll see when that develops. And what else do we have here? Flipside Crypto is going to be like the data platform that people reference for on-chain analytics. And I think people are starting to tweet some interesting things there. We're seeing the new Terra accounts, for example, start to blow up big time. It was an average of like 5 to 10,000 per day. Now we're seeing some explosions up to like 15 to 20,000. Like, do the math. That's fantastic. Neptune Finance. So that's going to be cool because on Anchor Protocol, you can borrow money, right? So you can deposit your B Luna here, and then you can borrow like up to 40% of the value of your B Luna, but you have to like keep a close eye on your loan to value because it's easy to get liquidated. So Neptune's working on solving that problem by automating it for you completely. So you deposit your B Luna into Neptune, and it manages the borrow, it manages your loan to value, it takes in the yield, it yield farms and yield optimizes. So ideally you get more money using Neptune versus managing it yourself through Anchor. We'll see how that goes. That's a third-party app, so they've been building on their own. It's not TFL built, but that's okay. And the other cool thing was Anchor announced, like, if you look at this yield reserve right now, a lot of the savings yield that you get from Anchor is coming out of this yield reserve. And once this goes to zero, a lot of people were worried about what that means for Anchor. And then TFL came out and announced that they would replenish it with $70 million or 70 million UST. So that's going to give us a runway of at least a year and a half. In addition to that, they're going to increase the amount that you can borrow from the value of your collateral to 60%, which is going to be huge. That's just more free money to farm with. They're planning on launching Ether as collateral by the end of this month. So that's going to be amazing because Ether is like a less volatile than Luna. So that people are going to be more comfortable. What else do we have here? I mean, social media for Luna it's incredible. It's really starting to blow up lately. I was in this Telegram community since like March, April, and it was at the time when Luna was coming off its highs of 23, and it was ranging in the 15 to 17 range. And a lot of people in the community were just complaining about marketing. Lack of marketing, lack of buzz, and that we need marketing to get to the next level. And if you know about the TFL, we've heard that they don't really believe in traditional marketing. They believe in creating amazing products. They believe in gamification. They believe in just incentives and that takes care of marketing. And I mean, they just have the vision to actually make these things work. So suddenly, slowly then suddenly, I mean, Terra has become like the #1 mentioned project, top 5 mentioned projects on social media. Like you hear there's more and more videos coming out, more tweets about it. Things are happening. Really, really, I mean, the potential here is really starting to get exponential. On if Luna already has this amazing ecosystem, now they're starting to get the buzz and the marketing element of it, and they've gamified it to where people, you don't have to pay people to do anything. They're just doing it because they're fans. They have this like reward program where the top content each week or each month, I don't know which one, they get money for creating content. So people are writing topics about certain things and publishing it, and it's really cool. They announced some more partnerships. Harmony is a layer 1 kind of ETH alternative that Terra just launched with. Terabytes podcast is up to 10,000 followers. Congratulations to that. Saber is a swap DApp on Solana. Now they're supporting a version of Terra USD. There's another integration. Flood Capital has been doing some really good content on Twitter about how Terra's stablecoin and the way it's decentralized and the way that they've engineered Luna to not just be a valueless token, and how that's going to be the differentiator against other decentralized tokens and other centralized tokens. And all we need now is time and more just time in the market to actually prove these things out. And they're really excited about that. And then Bitfinex recently announced that they're launching UST on Bitfinex, which is like a top 5 exchange. So that's going to be massive. Nexus Mutual. Nexus Mutual is what people use to buy insurance on Anchor. You deposit your cash in Anchor, you get savings, you can do stuff with it. But how do you ensure that against hacks and things like that? Well, you can use Nexus Mutual. And Nexus tweeted that in the past 7 days, 30 people purchased insurance. That's close to $7 million of coverage. So you got whales really using Nexus Mutual to protect their capital. And what else do we have here? Spectrum is very interesting. Spectrum Protocol launched, and I noticed it on day 1 when the price of the Spec token was 50 cents or 5 cents or one of those. And I didn't ape in, but I did just throw some MIR into the LP farm that they had. Like the typical APY is 65. Right now it's 700%, but when I went in, it was like 6,000%. So I put in like $50, and I've earned $28 in Spec rewards, which is pretty cool. And the way this works, and the reason why people are kind of nervous about it is A, it's not audited yet, and B, you have to wait a month to actually withdraw your rewards. So since it's not audited, since it's not a TFL project, people were just worried about it. Yeah, so I mean, lots of stuff happening. There's my update. I will do these every few days when I think there's enough news to report. If you want me to cover anything, any of my strategies, let me know. Happy to do it.